I had a message from Kim, and it says, I love watching your paints, but I just don't seem to be able to put the paint on the paper like you do. I think how we learn to put the paint on the paper comes down to our influences, where have we learnt our craft, who have we been watching, why do we paint like we do. Now I learnt I'll say there were three artists I watched on the telly that helped me paint the way I do. There was Ron Ranson. I would say first and foremost it'd be Ron Ranson and his fast and loose style. That's what really drew me to painting in the first place. There was Frank Clark, who did a similar sort of thing, but he really broke it down and made it almost idiot proof. Anyone could start to paint with his have some more fun. I think he died a couple of years ago, which is sad. He was ever such a nice bloke on the telly. Well, actually they're all dead. Ron Ranson died as well 3 or 4 years ago, and then the other one who died back in the 90s, I think it was the great Bob Ross. And what I've tried to do is just take a little bit from each of them and try and develop a style from that, just a sort of fast and free, almost carefree, sort of loose way of doing things. And then what you find is the more experience you have, the more practice you do, it looks like things are going wrong and it looks like a total mess, but you have to have this confidence, which will come eventually, that it will all come together in the end. I did a painting the other day and it looked I almost felt as if I was being too loose, and it just probably looked to the viewer as if I couldn't care less what I was painting. And I almost felt as if I was being a bit too carefree. But I always had an idea that once I put the shadows in the foreground, the whole thing would come together. And it wasn't until that last minute when I put those, what I had to do, I had to lighten the path, because I knew I'd put the path in too dark, so I knew the shadows weren't going to contrast very well. So I lightened the path, put the shadows in, and suddenly it came to life, and I was fairly pleased with it in the end. But to get back to the original point, to put the paint on the paper the way I do, you've really got to develop a sort of attitude where you're really going to go with the flow. Stop worrying about trying to control everything and just let the paint do its thing.